So hi, welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Rex from Flat Black.
All right, some questions to say about the upcoming album, Dark Side of the Brain. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
It's all been very positive. I'm pretty shocked, actually. It's like almost exclusively positive. But I'm ready. I'm ready for when the negativity comes eventually. You know, I'll be ready for it. But you know, it's been very positive. Really grateful for all of it. So thanks to everyone who's said all the nice things. I see it all. So thank you.
Hell yeah, the album fucking rips.
Oh, it's thanks, incredible.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Are you someone that reads the comments?
I am right now. I am, but I know I'll get to a point where, you know, you're gonna have to just
stop. Once people start getting fucking mean.
Yeah. Luckily, it's not been too crazy, but you know, coming from where some of us have come from, you know, we come from I don't know, I guess controversial bands, so you know, we're ready for it and at least used to it in some ways. So you know, it doesn't really bother me. You know, they're never gonna be your fans, so you know, let it go.
Yeah, no sense of winning them over. Fuck them.
Right.
Damn right. Yeah. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah. So Dark Side of the Brain just like kind of refers to, I mean, I guess it's sort of self-explanatory, but it sort of describes like, you know, those moments where you almost don't recognize yourself. And you know, I've certainly been there, you know, and we all sort of connected on that level where, you know, we've all been to pretty dark places, and a lot of the songs are sort of describing our feelings, especially the title track is very much describing those feelings of you know, being super lost and being on, you know, the dark side of the brain, you know, the really dark places, right?
Yeah.
But you know, you talk about it and you get it out, and that's how you heal from it, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Music's therapy.
Yeah. Yes.
Damn right.
Oh yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Yeah. So some of these songs we worked with a producer named Sahaj Tikatin, who is he's the kind of like the guy in the band Raw, if you've ever heard of that band. Do You Call My Name was their big hit in the, I think, early 2000s. But he's like our guy when it comes to vocals and stuff like that. A lot of these demos, you know, Jason started working on this as soon as he left his other band in early 2020. So he's been working on it for a long time, and there was a lot of instrumental stuff all set and done and ready to go. So me and Sahaj are one of our producers there. We kind of brought in, you know, I'm probably the less experienced one when it comes to, I've written a lot of music, but not a lot of music that's charted or anything like that. So I'm kind of like, I don't really have the credentials, I guess. So a lot of the times it would be like, okay, this is what we want the song to be about. All right, write as much as you can get out about this. And you know, I write paragraphs. You say, okay, I like this part. I like this part. Let's grab these two lines, put them together like that. And as for like future stuff, like we're working on a bunch of stuff right now too. I'm a big writer myself. I play guitar and produce music on my own too. So the part is in the future. You know, me and Jason are going to be able to collaborate a lot closer on not just, you know, I'm not just working on instrumentals and filling vocals. You know, we're working on whole songs together. So it's exciting. You know, this album's going to be great, but the next one I think is going to be awesome. So I'm excited for that too.
Already looking forward.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear that like the process is becoming more collaborative, because obviously the band was Jason's brainchild, but he's bringing everybody in and making it a collaborative effort, which is awesome.
Yeah. He's really open to all that. And, you know, I have a little bit more of like a, you know, he's hit city. That guy's just, everything he's touched is gold, you know. It's literally every album is gold, platinum, double platinum that he's ever been a part of. And that's, you know, stepping into some big shoes for me. So it's definitely cool, because I get to learn a lot from someone who understands, you know, songs and hit writing. And for me, I come from death metal and deathcore and hardcore and stuff. So for me, I sort of am not, you know, I wrote songs that I liked for my whole life, but now it's cool because I'm learning how to, you know, make songs for more people that, you know, my mom can get down with more than my heavy death metal stuff. So,
That's good.
Yeah.
This band is your mom approved. That's good.
Yeah. My parents love my band, which is great.
That's good.
First. It's a first for me.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So what song off this album took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Oh man, took the longest to write. Oh, I guess I would say probably I think Sideways, the one that just recently came out. I only say that because we rearranged a lot of stuff, and there were some songs that we came with like, oh, we have this melody idea, or we have an idea for the chorus, and here's what it sounds like. And Sideways, we had nothing, so we did that one from the ground up and restructured a bunch of stuff, and we that one was very personal to me too. I have a lot of personal injections on that. My favorite song is probably a song called Home off the record. And it's not something that like I would choose, I guess. Like when being a death metal person, it's nothing I would choose, but there's something really sad and emotional conveyed through it that even when I sing it, I'm like, I get like, I'm like, whoa, it has a lot of, and for me, I wrote a lot of parts of it from like a very sad, like, I don't know. It's just really sad I'll tell you what it is. It's about like a relationship that's really good. Like, that's, there's nothing wrong with the other person. Right. But it's just, you're going different ways. Right.
Yeah.
And you're parting ways, not really for like any bad reason. It's not like, oh, my girlfriend cheated on me or she killed my whole family or something. It's like, there's nothing we can do. We're just going, separate ways. And it's really, it's awful. It's really sad. And, it's awful. It's a terrible thing. And, for me, I've always struggled with, I've never had a really significant group of friends too. And the name of the song Home is sort of like, sort of describing my difficulty with belongingness and knowing where my real home is, so yeah, when things become unrecognizable, it's like familiar but unrecognizable, it's gut-wrenching. And the other one I really like is called It's Okay to Be Angry, and that's the opening track, and it's just really cool and slamming, and so that's why I like, those are my two favorites for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right.
Now, putting out such a personal piece of music like Home and this entire record, as we spoke about earlier with the cover art, is there any sort of like extra anxiety or stress going into putting out something so personal to you and to everybody in the band?
Yeah, of course. And, there's songs that are about people in my life, and, they're probably going to connect the dots. And, there's always that sort of, tension of, oh man, is this person going to figure out that it's about them? And, and all this stuff. I actually, the song that song Home, I actually, when it was like in pre-production, I was still with the person that it was about. And I actually showed it to her, and I did not say anything. I didn't say, oh, this is about this or that. I didn't say anything. I just said, oh, this is a song I'm working on. And I showed her like an early version of it, and she actually bawled her eyes out. And I didn't even, I didn't say if it was about, anything like that. So I was like, this is going to work. This has such an emotional pull on it. And yeah, of course there's things like that, the anxiety of, oh man, people are going to make these connections, and, hopefully that, the main goal of it is that this is very, it has that emotional pull that a lot of other people have experienced. And that's what's most important. So, I don't really care if people know that it's, the song's about them. What I care about is that other people are hearing it and they have a connection to it, and they say, hey, I've thought this before. I've literally said these things before. I felt this way. And, I've looked for that my whole life, music that, has something real. And that's why I've always liked rock and metal, is because it just talks about more real stuff, and those real feelings. And there is anxiety, but I've had those moments where I've had a couple people listen to it, or you see the response live, and I'm like, this moves people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's worth it. It's worth it. Any
Absolutely.
trade-off for me is worth it to give the fans that,
Absolutely. How'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, close be the closer, shuffle on and see what fits? What was that process like?
Yeah, the opener's definitely the opener. And when you guys hear it, when people hear it when it comes out, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. We open our live set with the song is "It's Okay to Be Angry," and we open our live set with that too. And woo, it's just the one, dude. It's the one. It's the one to walk out to, and it has this kind of riser effect where it starts with a spoken word, like a. It starts with it's kind of like a self-help thing where it's like this guy who's like, when we become aware of how we're manipulated, anger is gonna come up, and it's like this like kind of speech on how anger is something you're gonna deal with, and it's all right, it's okay to be angry, it starts in this calm therapeutic voice, and it just slams into metal. So it's definitely the opener, and the closing track is Dark Side of the Brain. And that's the title track, and it closes out nicely. It's kind of a little mix of it's a little bit electronic and a little bit of metal, and it has a nice chorus, but it ends very hard, and it ends with a little snappy little breakdown thing. So it's cool. Yeah, those are definitely intentional. Yeah, those are intentional for sure.
Yeah. And then the rest of the track listing, was that just like based on vibes, or was there more intention on that as well?
We thought about it a lot. I would be lying if we said we didn't spend weeks on, okay, what if we move this song up here and change these around here? We don't want to make everyone run away with the soft songs out, or we don't want to we don't want to scare my mom with all the heavy stuff right out the gate, so we definitely thought a lot about that. We spent a lot of time on everything for this record. We spent a lot of time on the art. We spent a lot of time on the vinyl art, and everything was diligent. Everything was intentional. Down to the songwriting too. And you'll hear Jason say this too in a lot of interviews. He'll say, I need every single part to be good. I need if the chorus is good but the riff sucks, or the riff sucks but the chorus is good, or the vice versa or whatever. It's all super intentional, and we really took our time to make really good songs. We really want to make a good product in every way. And yes, the track listing, well, it seems mundane. It seems like, oh, what does it really matter? It matters to us. So, we wanted to take our time, make sure that was really good, locked in.
Yeah. Big respect to any band that still gives a shit about track listing in 2024 in a single driven world.
Right. It's crazy, man. It's like the album thing's rare, especially for a new band.
Yeah.
But we're doing it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna keep doing it too.
Hell yeah.
Damn right. So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Yeah. Well, that song, that song I sort of described, the song Home. I was dealing with a lot of stuff going on in my head about that, and super like lonely, rough period. I had before I was in this band, I was in Falling in Reverse for a little bit, and I did one tour with them, and I was like kind of in the band for a year. And I did a bunch of dumb shit when I was 23 when I was in that band, like pretty young and stupid with minimal. That was my like first national tour. I toured with my band, my band from home. I had done like a couple weeks or something where I'm driving and all over the country and stuff, but not anything like that. And I did a lot of dumb shit, and I got my ass kicked out of that band. End of story, and there's no details that need to be shared, but like it just comes down to me being a stupid kid, and there's a lot of anger and a lot of I was really upset. I was like, oh, my life's over, because I was like, I made it. Like I was nothing before that. Ronnie gave me the chance of my lifetime, and if I would not be here at 100%, I would not be here without him. So I'm super grateful to him. And we actually recently talked at Welcome to Rockville, that festival. After we hadn't talked for 3 years, and there was a lot of resentment and anger and stuff, and I went up to him, we talked and I apologized to him and we talked for a while and about everything. And, he's cool. I owe a lot to him because he gave me a chance when I was just like a kid making singing videos online on the internet. So yeah, at that time, I was not, we were not in the state of, we had not buried the hatchet, so to speak.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I wrote songs about him, but, I definitely wrote songs about my anger and the feelings of because I was ultimately responsible for that, and there's nothing worse than knowing that you're at fault,
Yeah.
and learning to forgive yourself is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that is the hardest thing. That's hard for me. Taking responsibility for this stuff, admitting that you're wrong, knowing that pretty much everything that's gone wrong in my life is my fault.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's harder than making a hit record to me. And that's, nothing's rougher than that. And that's been the hardest thing I've been dealing with, and forgiving myself. And forgiving other people, especially when people don't want forgiveness, when they do you bad, they don't even care. It seems like they're sleeping fine. It's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
And like the stuff they're doing is, maybe objectively disgusting. And there's like gotta be people in their life being like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, how could you do this to a person kind of stuff? And, those people don't, they don't want forgiveness. They don't even think they're wrong at times. But that doesn't change the fact that you have to forgive them. Even if you don't, you don't think that, you don't think it's, but you'll carry around that anger for so long.
Yeah.
And, it'll never go away. It'll never go away unless you face it, and facing that stuff and facing that, okay, maybe I'm carrying this anger and maybe I'm responsible for some of these things that are happening to me. Maybe there are some things like, oh, I say in some of the, like I'm writing more stuff now and I say, oh, like, how could this happen to me when I've done everything right? That's like this big theme that I'm writing with new music, but you haven't done everything right. There's a pretty good chance that, you've done something in the past or maybe it's 10 years ago, but at the end of the day, these people that have done you wrong, you have to forgive them, but it will come around. And whether it's 5 months from now, whether it's 5 years from now, it will get paid back. Whatever you believe in, most people would say karma, but it will come back.
Oh yeah.
Vengeance comes back, and but it's not your responsibility to take vengeance. So a lot of the songs are in that vein of a lot of disappointment and pain and stuff like that, which a lot of people go through. But the song A Little Bit of Lightning, or it's called a Bit of Lightning on the record, sorry. Like that song is about like holding on to that one little bit of hope that you have left when things are just so bad. And I've had a really hard, last 5 years of my life have been really rough. It's not been easy. I say, okay, this year is going to be better. This year is going to be better. Every year has been worse. It's been harder and tougher, and I'm still holding on to that the little bit of lightning, right? I'm still holding on to that thing. That's going to get me through. That's what it's about. And I know there's so many people in this country that are struggling. And there's so many people that are not sure how they're going to put their next meal on the table, and money's getting less and less valuable, and things are just not good right now. And I know that a lot of people need to hear that, and a lot of people that have been in that headspace that I've been in, right, and that are probably in it right now. They need to hear these things, right? That there is that little bit left, that there's good left in the world, and it's worth fighting for. It's and that's sort of my like love letter to those people that are going through a lot of the things I went through, because I think a lot of people I grew up with and I grew up playing music with, they're like, hey man, you made it, dude, you made it, bro, you're on the big stage, man, you're living my dream. People say that all the time too. And I'm like, well, dude, you don't understand, like it's not what you think. Like there's a lot, like the work doesn't just stop, and especially personally too, it's very easy to lose yourself. It's very easy to say, oh, screw these people from my past, they did me bad and all this stuff. And no, like you don't want to carry that. You don't want to carry that. And you don't want to get cynical. You don't want to get an ego. that's you're fighting with that for the rest of your life, even if you've
Mhm.
made it. You're fighting that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Really appreciate you like being so open and vulnerable.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm glad that you and Ronnie were able to hopefully bury the hatchet at Welcome to Rocksville.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Good.
Shout out Ronnie, love you, bro.
Shout out Ronnie. And I hope that you're doing a little bit better than you were when you were writing the record.
Yes.
No doubt, man. No doubt. That's what it's about. It's you got to get it out for not just for me, but for everyone else too. Because everyone else goes through this stuff too. It's not just about me at all.
Absolutely. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should you do it in the car with friends, in dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
Oh man, there's something for each of those scenarios for sure. I think there's definitely a place for it to just rip through it at the gym. There's lots of upbeat, fun, heavy, fast songs, but the cool thing is you can throw half of the record. I think your mom is getting cool with it, right? So it's really it's got a place. It's got a place everywhere. But yeah, I would say rip the windows down, blast it through the stereo. If not, get those nice headphones and let it rip.
Hell yeah!
Damn right. Hell yeah. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
It's relatable, heavy,
Okay.
but palatable. So those are 3 words: palatable, heavy, relatable.
I'll take it.
That's
I'll
good.
take it.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Yeah, it's hopeful, man. It's let out the anger, but don't let it go too far, and hold on to hope. Hold on to the positive things. There's a lot of positive stuff in this record, and stay positive. It's gonna be okay. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Damn right. So are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of this album, positive or negative?
Yeah, sure. When I would not say any of this is negative, but for me, like I said, I'm probably the least experienced when it comes to I come from death metal and deathcore and metalcore and making heavy music that I like, and stuff like that. So the challenge for me was getting in this space of, okay, I used to say, oh, I'm a vocalist. I'm not just the singer, dude. I like scream too, bro. As if anyone as if anyone cares about that. But the challenge here was, the lead single that's going to come out with the record, a bit of lightning, is it borders on country. Like it could fit on a country radio, and people probably wouldn't bat an eye. And for me, it was the difficulty. I don't see this as negative. It was more of a challenge, I guess. The challenge is okay, I have to be, I'm a singer. I'm gonna be a singer here. I gotta play to my strengths, and screaming's cool and all this stuff, and I can do pretty much anything. Like I can do Whitechapel, Lorna Shore stuff, and I can do crazy stuff. But my strength has always been singing. I've always been, since I was a kid, people are like, "Oh, you're a great singer. You're born to do this stuff." And this is not me trying to speak to my ego or anything. This is when people in your life are telling you you're really good at something. You should do it. Especially when people that care about you, like your family and close friends, are like, "You're born to do this, man." And actually, Ronnie said that to me once too. He said, "Oh, you're born to be a singer, man." He said that to me once too, and that really stuck with me too. So it's like, when people tell you that stuff, don't ignore it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And this record, I had to play into more of. I had to become a singer a little more, and that's becoming what I'm supposed to be, though. So the challenge was I gotta be the singer, and there was moments too where, when we were working with Sahaj and a couple of other producers, they'd say, okay, turn a little less of this, a little more of that. Because for me, I tend to sing like this and like have a lot of grit.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, all right, turn that down a little bit, make it a little prettier.
Mhm.
And that was a good challenge because it made me a better singer. It made me
Yeah.
it made me play into more of my strengths. And which people that are a lot more experienced than me, a lot more versed in this stuff, these people that just they simply know more than me. That's a very important thing for all you musicians too.
Yeah.
There's people that know more than you. So take it in, be respectful.
Exactly.
Keep the ego down and try to learn from these people because they probably are smarter than you. And I was surrounded by people that were smarter than me. I was the smallest fish,
Mhm.
and yeah, the challenge was getting locking in the sound that everyone like, because I'd sing through parts. They say, oh, I like this moment. Let's harness that moment and make it through the whole. Also, I like how you said these couple words. I want to believe what you're saying is what something our vocal producer says all the time. He said, no, I don't believe you. Do it again.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That was the challenge, but it was a good challenge. I'm stoked, because I learned so much and I'm going to be so much more prepared when we go in for round 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, love it.
Absolutely. So what was that energy like walking into the room, and as you see yourself as the smallest fish in the room, I guess, what was it like working with people who have more experience or who are smarter than you or anything like that? Was it positive? Were there any bumps in the road, or was it just smooth sailing?
It was positive, but it was challenging. Some of these guys were a little, I guess I could say, tough on me, but not in a way that, not in like a way I describe as mean. It was sort of just, no, that wasn't good. Do it again. Like I actually respond well to that. I don't like being like, I guess it's called lying by omission,
Or
right?
like coddled.
Yeah, I don't want you to tell me that you like something when you like. Actually, that's one of the worst things you could do to me. That, like, it's the one thing that I have with all my friends. I'm like, do not omit things. Do not say, like, my friends, the people I work with, I say, I don't want you to spare me about anything. I want to know I want to know everything I can do, especially from Jason, who is just talk about someone who just knows more than me and has all the stars and to prove it. I want to learn. I want to be better. I know that I have a long way to go. I don't have these stars on my belt, right? I don't have these. I don't have the accolades to say that. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I don't know anything, dude.
Yeah.
I have, I have a long way to go, and I recognize that, and I'm happy about it, though. I'm happy to learn more and to become better and more useful to the band. It's going to be cool. We have a lot of creative people involved, and it's not just one guy writing everything and doing all of it. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting for me because I'm very open to it, and I think that makes it easier for everyone. That everyone's sort of open, and the cool thing about this band is everyone's cool and we all get along very well, which is not normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely good to hear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Oh man, I'm kind of a psycho on the like. I'm a little conscious of my health, maybe to a fault. So if I'm going, like, I usually get like protein bars or beef jerky or something zero. Like I'll get Coke Zero, Gatorade Zero. I'm like maybe way too conscious of that stuff. But like I'll give you like when I used to smoke weed and eat a bunch of junk food and stuff. I used to buy the family size Doritos, eat the whole thing. It's like
right.
3,000 calories. The nacho cheese Doritos are so good. I haven't had them probably 5 or 6 years now, but
yeah. I had to stop getting the family size bags of chips because I when I was in high school I played baseball, and then the pandemic hit, and this podcast and my day job became the focus, and like I'm not like I don't live an active lifestyle anymore, so it started to show. So now I'm just like I gotta be careful. No more family size, because I could house a bag of those.
Dude, trust me, man. I've done some devious things with the junk food and the family size shit. It's yeah, you know, I relate. It's all right, dude.
Yeah.
Pandemic, oof. Dark times, bro.
Oh, yeah. And on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Oh, I have no idea what dish. I say, you know, it's beef Wellington, bro. We're fancy.
Okay.
We're
Gordon
fancy.
Ramsay.
Yeah, delicious. And you know, I'll bust out the British accent occasionally. I used to be, that was what I was before I was a musician. I was like a sous chef, and
Oh, shit.
I worked in kitchens and stuff, and I did Wellington, and I worked in a French place when I was like 16 till I was like 18, and literally British accent psycho was my chef, and
Yeah.
I have all sorts of horror stories on that. He closed my hand in an oven once.
Oh.
Yeah,
Whoa,
it
what
was
the
crazy.
fuck?
Yeah.
Dude.
I have all
Holy
sorts
shit.
of stuff.
The
from
kitchen
that.
horror
It's like,
stories, they never end, because I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like through high school, I
Yeah.
was working in the kitchen. Never
yeah,
ends.
dude. I was doing, you know, I was doing crazy. Like I would go outside. This is when I was like, you know, a little young to be doing this. I go outside and rip shots of vodka. I never drank too. Like I was not ever a drinker. And I would
Oh
just
my
like
God.
I would go rip shots of vodka, go back in. Dude, it was crazy. You have to be like inebriated to like deal with that. It's very hard. It's very crazy. But yeah. That was it's a crazy dichotomy of life, dude.
Yeah.
Coming from that to this, it's like
That's fucking wild. I was just a lifeguard, man. I didn't have any I didn't have any fucking people putting my hands in ovens. That's fucking wild.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's nutty.
Yeah.
Damn.
And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music and we're going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh man. Okay. So I'd say like my 3 favorite things are like cheeseburgers, fried chicken. These are all not probably good for you, but you know, and you guys know what birria is, like birria tacos.
Yes.
Those are like my 3 favorite things. But yeah, I used to live in Providence, Rhode Island on a street called Broad Street, which, you know, I was like the only person that spoke English in the neighborhood. Is like almost exclusively Dominican. And there was this food truck that did birria, and I had it there. And ever since I've had it, I've had a couple. I live in Las Vegas now, but I've had a couple places. Nothing is even close. It's ruined it for me. I can't. I've tried even the places that are like 5 out of 5, best I've ever had. Nothing beats this little food truck that I used to go to. It was like $8, and it was just insane. It was insane.
Yeah.
I walking distance from my house, and yeah, it was awesome. And I had to break out my menial Spanish to order my tacos. So
that's how you know the tacos are good.
Yeah. No doubt.
And what are you drinking?
Oh, that's right. I would say like I love diet soda, and there's like they have these they call them Terribles in Las Vegas. That's like the name of the gas stations. They're called Mr. Terribles. That's what all of them are called, all over the place in Vegas. They have freestyle Coke machines, if you've seen those before.
Yes.
You can just like get any flavor you can possibly imagine. So I go there quite a bit. And yeah, I usually get like I really like vanilla Coke is like probably one thing I always go for. And I love like cream soda, and I like weird ones too. Like people are like, oh, I don't like these ones because they taste like medicine. Like I like grape soda too. Like I love all the like kind of nasty medicinal flavors. Like I like root beer too. I like root beer, Dr. Pepper. I love all that stuff. But if I was gonna pick, it would probably my last one. It would probably be like but Coke, vanilla Coke Zero. I can't do like when I drink full sugar soda, I can feel my teeth rotting. So I haven't had it in years. It's just too sweet. It's too sweet for me. I don't know.
It is sweet. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you got that right. If you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Lord of the Rings.
Damn, where in
Middle
Lord of the
Earth.
Rings?
Middle Earth. Do you know what I'm talking about? If I go on it, you know what I'm talking about?
Possibly. It
Okay.
depends. It depends.
All right, I'd probably say like Rivendell or
Oh,
Lothlorien, like pretty like where
yeah.
the elves chill out, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Chill as hell.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
the woods. I love like nature in the woods and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and you know, their their buildings are all built around trees and stuff, and I love that it's like kind of like ornate,
Mhm.
beautiful tree houses. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would pick that. I'm obsessed with Lord of the Rings. That's my favorite thing ever. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my choice.
All right.
Wonderful. I love it.
I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person who's spoken to have said that is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Black.
So, like,
Black or
hypothetically, if I told you I was one of those people who said that black isn't a color,
white.
what would Okay, so hypothetically, I told you that white wasn't a color either.
Um, I don't
Mhm.
know. I really like orange too. Like we use a lot of
Okay.
orange with flat black, and
Mhm.
you know, I never would have picked it before, but now I'm kind of like obsessed with it, and like I like or like I have a bunch of orange stuff in my house now that
Yeah.
you know I like orange a lot these days. But yeah, I would always say black or white just because you know it matches everything. I love like pinstripe. Yeah, like when I was little, I was obsessed with like first band I really liked was probably Avenged Sevenfold. And if you guys like know what Sinister Gates guitar looks like
Yes.
black and white pinstripes,
Hmm.
that like aesthetically is so pleasing to me.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I love black and white, but yeah, if
Mhm.
I had to pick another, it would probably be orange.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I just saw Avenged like earlier this year, so that's
I've
yeah.
seen them so many times. Yeah,
Damn,
they're so good.
they're fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So as I said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, I just say you can follow us on Instagram at Flat Black and flatblackmusic.com has all of our upcoming tour dates with Godsmack and Nothing More. We also are playing a whole tour with them in October with Nothing More as well, I believe. Bunch of festivals around that date and some radio shows, some smaller festivals for radio. And yeah, you should go check out our tour flyers and see what is around you and come see us. And we'll probably be doing meet and greets at all that stuff, you know, free of charge. And you'll be able to meet us and hang out with us. We want to meet you. We want you to experience the show. We want you to buy the record. You can buy the exclusive orange vinyl. We're limited to 300 and it's getting pretty low. So I would recommend you go grab that before it's gone. And those of you who buy the record on vinyl will have access to 4 live songs that will not be coming out on Spotify or anything else like that. They're exclusive to the vinyl. So those of you who pre-order the vinyl and or purchase the vinyl records will have access to 4 live songs, and they are awesome. I've been listening to them like crazy. They sound so good, and I'm really proud of them. So I hope you guys go check that out. You can buy merch and listen to everything. Check it all out, flatblackmusic.com. And wherever you listen to streaming, you can hear the 4 or 5 songs we have out now.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, thank you. So now it's been Rex from Flat Black, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.